Welcome to Mahjong Central. My name is Michelle. I'm going to be doing some random pulls for Cantonese style. If you don't know how to play yet, there are links below the video to the lesson playlist. This is the easiest style to learn. You can learn it in 15 minutes. It's very much like Rummy, where you need to get 4 sets in a pair. The sets can be 3 in a sequence, called a chow, or 3 of a kind. That's called a pung. You can do 4 of a kind also. That's called a kong. So you just need to get 4 sets in a pair of anything you want. And then depending on the combination of those sets, you'd be able to determine your score. And the better the combination, the higher the score. I have a link to this. It's a little quick reference with scoring for Hong Kong scoring below the video. So you can figure out how to score your hand. Really, you can memorize that in a day. So it's super easy and a really great style to teach kids. Let me show you how it works. These random pulls are just practice and how to figure out what to play. Because a lot of times when you play, they'll establish a point minimum. A point is called a fan, F-A-N, and sometimes you'll have like a 2 fan minimum for a standard game. If you're playing with more advanced players, you might have a 4 fan minimum. So let's play today with a 2 fan minimum. So we'll have to make sure that whatever combinations we pick have a total of 2 fan. So we're going to do 4 random pulls, 1 for each wind of the round. When you play, everybody gets a chance to be the dealer. So there's round east and everybody gets to be east, round south, then round west, and round north. So what happens is the dealer gets the dice. When the dealer loses, the dice go to the next person. So if you win, you keep the dice. So sometimes the rounds can be longer. It's not just 4 games per round. It can be different. It depends on how often somebody's winning. So we're going to do east round for this first random pull. And sorry for my fingers. Look at, I had to do a sleep study, and so I had to take off my nail polish. Doggone it. And then this one kind of chipped off and I got all OCD on it and peeled it off. So I'm looking kind of, you know, rugged, I guess. So forgive me for that. All right, so let's go ahead and do our random pull. I'm going to say that I am the dealer for this one. So if I'm the dealer, I'll just put up a 1 on the dice. There, 1, and it's east round. So if I get a pung of east, I'll get 2 fan. You get a fan for your seat wind and a fan for the wind of the round. So if I'm the dealer, I get 14 tiles. So there's my 14. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay, this looks good. Lots of cracks. I think we're going to play probably all cracks, maybe, and honors. Honors are winds and dragons. So this is what I would do. I would go for a half flush, which is 1 suit with winds and dragons. I would hold the pair of 5s for as long as possible. If I get more pairs, like right now I only have 2 pair, because I could play maybe all pung, which is all 3 of a kind, and that would be a fine score. That would be, I believe it's 2 fan for all pung. No, it's 3 fan for all pung. A half flush is 3 fan as well. So I would throw these away first, try for a half flush, and see what happens there. If I pair it up, meaning I draw in pairs and then I pung them with a discard, then I might keep the 5 bam and go for all pung. I'd have to wait and see. Sometimes you have to decide what to do based on what other people are doing, because if other people are chowing, you know, they'll take a discard for a chow and they're getting all their sets made, you might have to change your plan for a quicker Mahjong, in which case maybe a all pung would be quicker than a half flush, depending on how the drawing goes. So that's what I would do here, half flush. All right, let's see. The seat wind we're going to be in this time is seat 4, and that is north. So I'll put up a 4 on the dice, and we're going to do south round now. So it's south round, and I am in seat 4. So if I get a punga north or a punga south, I'll get a fawn for that each. Okay, so now that we're not the dealer, we only get 13 tiles this time. So there, 4 on each side, 5 in the middle. It's an easy way to count your tiles. So let's see here what we can do with this one. So we've got a mixture here, and remember, we're playing with a 2 fawn minimum. So whatever I pick, I need to have 2 fawn accounted for. Since we have a mixture between cracks, dots, and bams, that might indicate an all chow hand, which is when you have all 3 in a sequence like this, 2, 3, 4. But all chows is only 1 fawn. So I would need to come up with another fawn somewhere. Maybe I could get a pung of one of the dragons. Any pung of dragons, again, a pung is 3 of a kind. Any pung of dragons is worth 1 fawn. So I might be able to do that. I am seated at north seat, and it's south round, so this east is not going to help me. The other thing I might be able to do is a half flush again. A half flush is 3 fawn. So I think that's what I would do. I have 5 discards, so that's going to be I'm going to have to draw really well or chow well. I do have 2 potential chows here. Instead of using 1 potential chow with the 2, 3, 4, I could split those up and do a 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need either a 1 crack or a 4 crack here, then a 3 crack or a 6 crack. So I can have 2 cheese here, or chows. And then I'd have to draw in more cracks and pair up these honors to do a half flush. So that's probably what I would do. I try to play bigger hands. So playing all chow hand with mixed suits and hoping to pair up one of these honors, that's a tall order, and that would only probably end up being a 2 fawn hand. So I'd go for a half flush. I try to make my decision so I have 4 discards. In this case, I have 5, so it's going to be a long road for this hand. I'd have to really draw well or chow well. Okay, let's see what seat we're in this time. I rolled a 6. 6 is the south seat, and you can remember that by east is 1, south is 2, west is 3, and north is 4. So when you're seated at the table, you can also remember it by saying eat soup with nuts. So if east is 1, 2 is south, and then also if you're trying to figure out which seat when you're in, and you can look for the dice because the dealer or east has the dice, and you can just say to yourself, eat soup with nuts, counterclockwise around the table to figure out which wind you are. Eat soup with nuts. So it is south seat wind and west round this time. So we're non-dealer again, so I'm just going to take 13 tiles. Okay, we got mixture again. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Oh yeah, this is rough. So for this one, we have 3 dots, 4 cracks, 5 bams, and a 1 honor. This is terrible. We have only 1 pair. So in this situation, again, we are on seat south and it's west round, so this east is not going to help at all. So the choices here are all chow, which is 1 fawn. We have to come up with another point somewhere, whether it be a flower. If you get your own seat wind flower, the flowers are numbered 1 through 4. If we get a number 2 flower or a number 3 flower, which is the wind of the round, we could get a fawn for that. But who knows if that's going to happen. Also, if you have no flowers, you can get a fawn for that. But at any moment, you can draw a flower. So I don't like counting on that fawn. But I would think this is going to have to be an all chow hand right here. And then we just have to hope for another scoring element during the pick and discard phase of the game. So basically what we have here is a lot of potential chows in mixed suits. And that's the problem. When you mix suits with chows, that drives your score down. So if you're going to play a chow hand, try to be in 1 suit or 1 suit with winds and dragons. If you mix your suits with chows, you're going to have a really low score hand. So here's a potential chow, potential, 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 and then we have 2 isolated tiles and of course the east. So I would do all chows and hope for another scoring element, whether it be pairing up a dragon for a potential pung, which would actually ruin the hand because then you wouldn't have all chows, you'd have a pung. So really the only thing we could count on if we went with all chows is our own flower or the flower for the wind of the round. And that is, you know, that's a risky play. But because of all this, that's probably what I would do. What I might do actually, I might go for a half flesh, hold these as long as possible, get rid of these first, and then if I start drawing bams and honors, switch to a half flesh. Either way, those plans are going to be a long shot for this particular random pull. Okay, so let's see what seat wind we are for north round. I rolled a 9. 9 is east. If 8 is, or 4 is north, 8 is north, therefore 9 is east. So for this one, we're going to get 14 tiles. Okay, let's take our 14. One more. 4 on each side, 6 in the middle. Okay, here we go. There's some flowers, and they're both 1s. We are east, so we get 2 fawn for that all by itself. We could win with whatever we want to. We met the minimum right there just with the flowers alone. So we've got 2 flowers. We're going to take just 2 random replacements. And let's see what combinations we can come up with here. Okay, so again, we have a mixture of suits. It really doesn't matter though, because we've got 2 points or 2 fawn with our flowers alone. So I think I would probably try for a half flush, but I would keep, here's a chow right there, 7, 8, 9. Here's a 5, 6, and then here's 2 isolated tiles. We could play all chows. And all chows would be 1 fawn plus our 2 flowers. That would be a 3 fawn situation. So I'd probably go for all chows. If I drew really well and drew in dots and honors, I'd try to clear to 1 suit and honors. But again, it would depend on what happens at the table, how fast other people are creating their sets. But I'd probably try for a quick win and play all chows. Chow that. This is already a chow. Chow this, and then we need a pair in here somewhere. So maybe pair up one of these. So that's what I would do here. Let me know what you think about Cantonese style with Hong Kong scoring. It's a lot of fun and a great game to teach kids. As long as these kids can memorize the cracks, which are numbered 1 to 9, they can play this game. I think as young as, let's say, I don't know, 2nd grade, 3rd grade maybe. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click subscribe. Between now and the next set of random pulls for Cantonese style, may all your picks be keepers.